This experience is from Sunshine and Rainbows and it occurred in the United States. Over the course of several years, I experienced some strange occurrences. They became more frequent while remodeling my home and during moments of negativity in my marriage. These occurrences include clothes flying through the air and hitting me, dogs barking at the foot of my bed in the middle of the night. Cold fog outside my daughter's room, my daughter seeing a man in her bathroom, waking up to a dark figure hovering over my husband, and a doppelgänger of me interacting with my husband when I was not home. When my husband and I first married, we lived in different towns due to work. We also had a toddler. We decided to move in together as quickly as possible and went house hunting. I have always enjoyed stories of supernatural or paranormal occurrences and joked about how much I would love a haunted house. Boy, was I wrong. We finally settled on a house that was in our price range. It was built in the 80s, so no concern of lead paint, nor historic value. Everything went smoothly for the most part. Our toddler would wake up in the middle of the night and explain that her stuffed animals would move or fly. We figured she just wanted to sleep with us. Moving was a big transition for such a youngster. We got pregnant with another kiddo quickly. Soon after that, my husband went out of the country for about a year for work. Things were normal for the most part. The baby, when she was 6 to 12 months old, would sometimes stare at the front door and cry or point behind me when I was doing dishes. Nothing too weird. My husband returned and I eventually decided to remodel the house. It had not been updated since it was built. That was a major undertaking. My youngest was probably 2 years old at this point and the oldest was 6. I became convinced that our house was haunted at this point and continued to be convinced for about 2 years. It is hard to remember the time frames for everything, but I will describe the activities that occurred during this 2 to 3 year period. I had a dog who required medication twice a day. It would frequently go missing. I would find it later in the same spot I always kept it. Another scary thing was that one of my daughters would talk about the little boy that lived in a closet and that she was afraid of him, so we moved the 2 girls into the same room because we felt that they were lonely. This gave my husband a room to dedicate to his man cave and online PC gaming. My husband would talk about seeing a shadow run back and forth in the hallway. I had a dream that when we took down the sheetrock during renovations, we found a secret room with dead twins who warned us to get out. All of this stuff seemed like normal occurrences that happen in life. Then I finally became convinced that the house was haunted. One night, my children and husband were all in bed. I had clean laundry waiting to be folded on the couch, but decided to sprawl out on the couch and watch The Breakfast Club instead. Being a wife and a mother of 2 young girls, alone time was rare. All of a sudden, a shirt flew from the couch and hit me in the face. I ran to the bedroom and my husband was asleep. I woke him up and told him what just happened. He said that he didn't believe me, but I know better because he got anxious and couldn't sleep after that. The next big event occurred when my youngest told me there was a man in her bathroom. We had a security alarm, so I knew it couldn't be true. I had her take me to the bathroom and show me. She described him as black and pointed behind me and said, "He is right there. He is behind you." I told her that we would just leave him alone and go about our day. We had other things happen that we just explained away. I woke up to a shadow figure hovering over my husband. My dogs would wake up in the middle of the night and bark at the foot of the bed. I would hear noises coming from the kids' room and get a terrible feeling when I would check on them. I sometimes had to walk through a cold mist to get to their room. My dogs also would sometimes bark in the hallway. The final straw was what happened next. After this, I had to call someone to intervene. I worked weekends and would always come home and tell my husband about my day, while he played on his computer. The kids would be in bed by this time. I would then shower and go to sleep. That night, when I returned home and came into the house, my husband met me at the door and he looked frightened. He said that I had already been home and talked to him about my day. Apparently, I then said I was going to go shower. So when he heard the garage door open and my car pull in, he immediately panicked. I was frightened to hear this as well. An entity taking my identity made me feel helpless. A coworker got me in contact with her friend with special abilities. Her friend came over with another medium. They smudged our home and put crystals in the corner. It was all free. They told me that the limestone in our backyard held energy which attracts transient spirits and entities. Some are good and some are not. They said that the shadow man stayed because of my husband's PTSD and was attracted to the negativity. I was also informed that domestic abuse had previously occurred in the room that was now my husband's man cave at some point, and that was a big focus of negative energy. They taught me to smudge and told me I have ancestors by my side keeping me safe. Whatever the mediums did didn't help much. Things would still happen on occasion after this. We spoke to our Muslim friends about it and they thought it sounded like a jinn. These creatures are mischievous and can be good or bad. They gave us a religious artifact from their hometown that had a prayer in Arabic carved in it. We kept it on our mantle and never had trouble after that. They would always laugh during Christmas time when we had our Christmas mantle decorations and our Muslim artifact. We have since moved but did spend a decade in that home.